What's up, guys? Danielle Alvari here, still with Calvin Wetzel, who is a women's basketball writer, analyst, and bettor. And we have been just basically singing South Carolina's praises because we can't do anything else, really. But I want to get more into the root of it. I know that you're really heavy into stats here, and I just want to understand what makes this South Carolina team so dominant, really, on both sides of the floor.
All right, so I pulled some stats for you, Danielle. You ready? I'm gonna hit you with some numbers.
I'm ready.
All right, so it starts on the defensive end, like you said off air. They take away the rim with all of their length. With how
Mm-hmm.
many players do they have? 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", blocking over 20% of opponent twos. One out of every five. That's the most in at least the her hoop stats era going back to 2010. Probably the most ever, honestly. Leah Boston,
Yeah.
Tisha Meher, Camila Cardoso, all blocking one or two shots a game. Even Bria Beal out on the perimeter is blocking over a shot per game just by being a dog. And they take away threes as well because Don Staley is smart and knows that that's where modern basketball teams make their bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
So really, they force you to rely on contested mid-range twos, 17th in the country, top five among power conferences.
My least
And
favorite shot. Ugh.
yes, that everyone's least favorite shot. That's why they make you take it. In terms of the amount of shots that they force teams to take from that range on the floor, one of the highest in the country. And then they give you one shot and they rebound it. Top 10 in defensive rebounding rate. So you get one
Mm.
contested mid-range jumper, you're going to miss it, and they're going to rebound it. That's how their defense works. Then they get out in
This is
transition
the
where they
script,
are
by the way, for
pretty
every South
good.
Carolina game. You can just follow this script that Calvin's writing for you.
Exactly. It's so scripted. Every possession works the same way, and it's ugly and it's beautiful at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
They force the miss. They get out in transition. They are good in transition. Their half court offense is really ugly, but it works when you
Mm-hmm.
force them, when you take them out of transition and force them in the half court. They don't take any threes, bottom 10 in the country in terms of amount of shots they take from three. They love to pound it in. But what they really do is miss shots and go get the rebound, which is not aesthetically pleasing, but it wins basketball games. They rebound almost half of their own missed shots. Again,
Yeah.
the most in a decade in Division One. And this is where the shooting gets weird. This is where it doesn't make any sense in 2023. So they face zone 40% of the time.
Mm.
Fourth most, the top three are from the MEAC, who is a mid-major league that only plays zone. So they face zone more than basically anyone. Over 71% of their catch and shoot shots are unguarded. Synergy has guarded and unguarded, depending on how close the defender is. Almost 3 out of 4 of their catch and shoot shots are unguarded. That's intentional. That's the most in the country. Teams play zone, pack it in, put 5 in the paint, leave them unguarded. South Carolina takes those unguarded shots. They miss those shots, and then they go get their own rebound and put it in because they have a bunch of 6, 7 people who can go get offensive boards. And somehow that works. They've won every game. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense, but it works.
It works every time. No, I really struggle because we were talking about this before we started recording about how this reminds me of like old school WNBA and almost like Aces before they added in all their all-star players that won in the championship recently. It used to just be Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson down low, and that was the way that they would win games. And I thought this has got to evolve past this. We're seeing players come into the league now, especially the younger players. I mean, we've talked about Caitlin Clark on Iowa going to be headed that direction. Sabrina Ionescu was kind of the beginning of that a little bit more too, where it's just more perimeter offense. And so it's interesting that South Carolina is saying, no, this is working for us. And it absolutely is. They're undefeated.